Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a 20-part video series showing you how to create GM house. Let's get started. To start, let's open a new architecture template. So click on new, drop down, and then click on architecture template, and then press OK. And then we start off at level 1. What we need to do first is to add grid lines or to set up our levels. So here we could just uncheck this so that we don't need to see the ceiling plan, and we could go to our south elevation. So we're gonna start by adding level, so click on level right here, or you can type in LL, and then once you do, we'll be able to add in our ground floor. So here we could just add in all capital, so ground floor, and then press yes. And then here we could put this one, elevation should be around 400. And then here we could put this one at 0. So now our ground 0 and level 1 is at 400. And then we have here level 2. And then our level 2 is around 3000 from level 1 to level 2. So now it should be around 3400. Click apply, and there we go. As you can see, it's not showing properly here. So what you need to do is to add an elbow right here. So once you add the elbow, you'll be able to extend all of this in order for you to view everything correctly. And then let's add another level, LL again. And then let's make sure this is 3000 again. So this will be level 3, and press yes. So we have our ground floor, level 1, 2, and 3. Basically, the level 3 is the roof part. So now, if you do the level properly, it will add ground floor, level 1, 2, and 3 right here. We're going to select level 1 again, as we're going to add in grid lines. By the way, our units is, if you type in UN, we have our units on millimeters and our templates in metric. So now let's add in our grid lines. So you can click on under architecture and then grid right here on the right side, or you can type in GR, and then let's add in from below here to above. Usually you want it to be centered in the middle of this elevation tags right here. So now we have number 1 right here. You can select that, and then you can click on under modify this copy. You can also type in CO, that's copy as well, that's the keyboard shortcut. And then now we're going to put in our dimensions, so 5129. And then here it stopped because we forgot to put in the multiple. So if we click on CO again, select this one, before we add in our dimensions, make sure you check the multiple so that we could add multiple grid line altogether. So 2574 3427 4253, and then 4441. 1. There we go. And if you notice, this one went back right here. That's because we didn't put this one all to the right side. So now it went back because it doesn't have that space anymore. So now what we can do is select this one, and here it will create this dimension right here. And what we could do is we could just put back 4441 and then enter. So you want to make sure when you're copying this, for example, you're pulling it all to the right side and making sure that you have enough space so that it will continually go to the right side. So if, for example, it happen is it's right here already, and then we put in the 4441 dimension. Press escape multiple times, and as you can see, we're good because it's all in the middle. We don't need to move our um, elevation tags anymore, so that's good enough. But if for some reason you're not in the center, you could just select all your grid lines, and you could just nudge it in place using your arrow key in your keyboard. So now we could type in GR again, GR, and then let's add right here. And if you notice, it will create number 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this. Instead of 7, I want letters. So capital A, and let's move it all the way on the right side, on the left side. Select that again, and then select copy or type in CO. Pull it downwards so that we can multiple add dimensions. So 6212, and you want to make sure you're in 90 degrees when you're doing this. So this one is 2501. Next is 1137, and then we have another 4216, and then we have here, this is 1210, and then another one is 1050, and then lastly 1930, and one more actually. This is 4744. So A to I, and then we're going to add in our dimensions. So let's add in our dimensions right here. So what you need to do is you need to select each and every grid lines from horizontal to vertical, and then after that add in an overall. Let's do it right here as well. And then overall. And then if you notice, we don't have a grid bubble on the right side and below. What you need to do is just simply show the bubbles by selecting or checking all the tick bars. So here I'm just checking all of this one by one, and then on below as well. And then similar to levels, if you want to make this much better, you can add in elbow, and then here, so that it's not overlapping, and it looks more professional doing that. And for me, I usually, whatever I do on the right side, or I want to apply it on the left side as well, and similar right here if that's the case. And if you notice right here, this is too much space. So what we need to do is select one of the grids. And if you notice, we have dash line. That indicates that if we move one of this, it will move all of it. So here I'm going to move it, and then if you notice, it's moving all throughout. And then we could just nudge this one in place again so that it's perfectly in the middle. Then now it's a good time for us to save this. So I'm just going to click on the save right here, or Control S. Just save it to the location that you want to. And then here I'm going to name it GM House. Before you click on save, you want to make sure that you click on the option. And one thing that you need to change is the maximum backup. So the default is 20. If you're expert level, you can put 1 to 5. Medium, you can put 5 to 10. And then if you're a beginner, I think 20 is good enough. So basically, it will override up to 20. So if you go past 20, it will override to the oldest file that you have. And basically, it's a good idea that you have multiple backups just in case that you make a mistake, and you could always go back here. So here for me, I usually just put 5. It's up to you if you put in 10, but I'll put 5 just in case. So I'm just going to press OK and then save right here on this location. And here, what we could do is we could go back to our elevation. So here at south elevation, as we can see, everything is intersecting, and then it's clear. So what I usually like to do is give it more space right here. So I pull it up more. You want to make sure that everything is intersecting, because sometimes if there's a situation where this one is not overlapping, if you go to level 3, as you can see, it's not showing the grid line for the um, vertical. That's the reason, because this is not overlapping. So if we push this one all the way right here, intersecting, and we have space, if we go back to level 3, it will appear. So those are the reasons why it's not showing. So you want to make sure that you check each and every elevation that you have, and you want to make sure that everything is good and everything is shown properly. Nothing is overlapping. And as you can see in our east elevation, we can select that. We can push this one a bit more right here. And then the ground, we need to add elbow, and then we could push it down more, and then pull this one right here to give it some space. And we have level 1, 2, and 3. Good enough. Everything is intersecting. I just don't want the look of this because it's overlapping. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of elbow on those part. Let's go on to our north elevation, and I believe everything looks good except for the ground floor, so let's just add an elbow on that. And as you can see, it's really easy to manipulate this once, because you just need to select this and then you can pull it down like that, and then you can grab all of this, you can drag those. We have south already done, and then we have our west elevation. Same thing, we need some space here, and then here we have an elbow, and then push it right there, and then below. And then now we just need to give some space right there and to have some elbows. So we're looking good right here. We have our elevation ready. If we check our ground floor, everything is right here. Level 1, we have everything because we're basically going to concentrate on our level 1. We're going to add our walls there most of the time. So we're going to need to have all of this, and especially level 2 as well. So it's probably a good idea to add all those grid bubbles, but I'm not gonna add it right now. You can just add it, and then the level 3 is the roof. So you can even change the roof name right here if you want to. So roof, make sure it's all cap if you want. Um, would you like to rename corresponding view? So once you do rename this, if you press yes, it will change the name here as well. So here, as you can see, it changed right there. And then we're going to rename all of this. First floor, and then second floor right here. And yes as well. So now everything is correspondent to those. The only problem is all of this once, but that's good enough. At least you know which is first floor, ground floor, roof, and second floor. And before we finish the video, let's zoom in here. Um, let's create the exterior wall. So here, we're gonna click on under architecture wall, and we have basic generic 200 millimeters. For newer Revit, what we have is we don't have the generic anymore. So basically, you can just choose on one of those preset already. So for example, this one. And what you can do is edit type, duplicate, and then you put in the name exterior wall number 1, and then press escape or OK, and then edit. And then here, whatever we have under core, structure, and core, those are the ones that we cannot delete. But the ones that from the exterior side, which is this ones, and then interior side, we can delete. So now I'm just going to click on delete, and once we get here, it will be grayed out. So here again, delete, delete, and then uh, we have the core boundary structure and core boundary. Here, the thickness, let's set this one to 200. And then for the exterior, here we could just put in our gypsum wallboard. Press OK, and then OK again. And then now we have it ready for the next video. Um, just uh, just before we go, here we have base constraint first floor, and then top constraint unconnected. You should change this to second floor. Um, at at the same time, once we apply this, you can also change it right here. So here we could change it in different ones as well. Wall center line is already um, the default and then change as well. So those are important ones that we need to consider. And then on the next video, we're going to add the exterior wall. So thank you for watching and I hope you like the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below.